Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 12th. We're going to jump right in here, Aries. Sure, we'll take all three. You have this Silent Wisdom card, this Challenges card, and this Guided Protector card. So there's a lot going on right there. And by the way, I was shuffling before your reading, Aries, and the lovers kept popping out. So the lovers clearly want to come out in this reading. And so some of you could be thinking about love, and it could be protected. You do have this Challenges card, and you have the Nine of Swords with the Sun, which is kind of a weird combination. I consider the Sun to be the best card in the deck, and I consider the Nine of Swords to be the worst card in the deck. I know everybody worries about the Tower, but the Nine of Swords is more challenging for sure. So we're going to have to look into what's going on here. That Silent Wisdom card is really saying to me that you need to kind of like let something out. It's like you do know things. I really get that feeling for you, Aries. It's like there are things you know. I feel that there are moments where maybe you see people who are like in the world who are kind of sharing what you know, and they're getting all the credit for it. I don't really feel like the universe is calling you out, but I kind of do on that card. It's almost like the universe is saying to Aries, like, how many more times are you going to let someone else get credit for what you know or for what you do? So I definitely feel like that card is saying it's time for you to speak up, and it could be time for you to share more or to share more of your ideas. You even have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about putting your skills on display. It's a card of quality work, and he is receiving recognition for the good job that he has done. So it's kind of like this reading is saying it's time to show your work in life in general. You have the Lovers, the Sun, the Nine of Swords, and the Fool. There definitely could be love. I feel like you're more worried about it than anything with that Nine of Swords because you do have the Sun, and the Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive. So if you do have love coming in for you, then I would say I would get out of your head with that Nine of Swords energy, especially if you want it. Obviously, if you don't want it, then this message isn't, this part of the message isn't for you. But if you do want it, then I feel like it's saying you need to like open up and allow it into your life. I do feel like I am getting like air here. So, it could be a Gemini or it could be an air sign that's coming in for some of you. You have the Sun in the Nine of Swords. Again, the Sun is happiness, optimism, joy. The Nine of Swords is the total opposite. It's like having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. Like I said, it's totally contradictory energy when these two come up together at the same time like this. So, kind of interesting. The Nine of Swords encourages you to leave a comfort zone, though, and, because it could make you happy is what this is saying with the Sun. So, the Nine of Swords is kind of like cheating yourself out of something in life that could be better for you, but the Sun is like saying, you need to move towards something that's a little bit scary because it will probably make you happy. And that's what I would do. It could be love. It could just be something that you will love. We have a lot of really good money cards here as well. And so the Nine of Swords is a comfort zone. He's uncomfortable. I always say the reason I don't like the Nine of Swords is because he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. The Nine of Swords really asks, how bad does it have to get before you realize that you can have happiness if you choose to? And, that's kind of the question I'm getting there, Aries. You have the Fool. The Fool definitely says it's time to take a leap of faith. I feel it is time for everyone to take the risk of looking foolish. I always say Pluto and Aquarius. I think the biggest risk that everyone can take with Pluto and Aquarius is the risk of looking like a fool. The Pluto and Aquarius is the risk of exposure, the risk of putting your work on display and people making fun of you or criticizing the work that you do or whatever the case may be. So we all have to kind of take the risk of the Fool at this time. The whole thing of the Fool is that he's about to take a leap of faith in a direction, and people might be saying, like, don't take that risk, you're going to get hurt, or, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. But the thing that the Fool needs to realize is that he has a ton of knowledge and wisdom. He's about to go on this big, long journey, and he has this tiny little sack on his back. He's about to go through the whole major arcana, and it basically says he has everything he needs right between his two ears. There's nothing that he should fear because he knows a lot, and he knows what is going to happen on the journey, even if he doesn't know. He kind of does know. And I get that feeling for you, Aries. With the Lovers, yes, you have the Ten of Cups. Again, true happiness. This kind of is giving me that vibe that if you want love, that this could be saying, you're only preventing yourself from having true happiness. I've been seeing this a lot recently in readings where it seems like people are trying to protect themselves maybe a little bit too much in relationships. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't protect yourself, but what I am saying is like appropriate boundaries, which we have the Seven of Wands right here. It's like he's protecting his position, but he, with the Three of Pentacles, maybe he's also willing to work together with people. So this would be about having, kind of like balanced boundaries, maybe is what I should say. With the Sun and the Nine of Swords, you have the World. The World can just say you're getting out into the world, and that's probably what you need to do with the Nine of Swords, is you need to get out, explore, experience new things, meet new people, get out into the world. This could also be an accomplishment that's coming in for you. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be working towards some sort of accomplishment or, trying to create an accomplishment with the world. With the Fool, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent blessings coming in for you. The Hierophant, to me, is also a card of needing to think outside the box. I don't really look at the Hierophant as a challenge, but sometimes he can be kind of a challenge because he represents like some sort of traditional belief, or kind of like an inside-the-box way of thinking. The Fool is kind of opposite. The Fool is very outside the box. He's spontaneous. He's just going on this journey because he wants to. And, I definitely get that feeling with the Fool that some of you, it's like you might be, with the Nine of Swords even, you could be doubting some of your ideas because they are outside the box ideas. But that's the whole point of outside the box ideas, is that they might not make sense right now. But that probably will change in the future, as you kind of like start working through your outside the box ideas. They'll start to make more sense once you start to be successful. And again, if we look at this bottom row, there's a lot of success here. Eight of Wands is quick success. Ace of Pentacles, success. Six of Pentacles, showing up in the good stuff, could be success. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the To Be Fair card and this Yin energy card. I feel like some of you need a break for sure. Like if you feel like you need to take a day off or something like that, I would do it. Especially, if you have vacation days saved up or whatever, it's like maybe you only just need one day off, right? I would take it. The To Be Fair card, I do feel there is more balancing, especially as we get closer to the end of this month. I think things get a lot better. Especially this moon is a little bit interesting, a little bit tricky, I would say, the moon that we're having on the 12th in Scorpio. And today is May 8th, so I'm going to publish this on May 9th. And you might be feeling the energy of this moon right now on the 9th. Full moons, new moons, also, you can feel like 5 days before, 5 days after. And, if you need a break, take a break. If you need to be more in a passive energy, be in a passive energy. You have the Seven of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Seven of Wands says, when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. It's a card of conviction. It's a card of really believing that something is going to be successful and developing that belief inside of yourself. I always say the Seven of Wands is a good card for kind of like brainwashing yourself into believing that something, that there's no other way than for you to be successful. And when you create that energy, then you'll be successful. And that's what I would do with the Seven of Wands. I also do feel something about boundaries here. Again, I feel this is only for those of you that want love. It's like there is nothing you can really ever do to prevent being hurt, right? I see this a lot in the comments and questions I get and things like that, where people are like, I'm going to do this to the next person I date. I'm like, yeah, but it's like that's not going to prevent anything from happening. It's like, people come up with all these rules, and I'm not criticizing anyone here. I get it. It hurts. It sucks, like when someone does you dirty or whatever. But what I'm saying is there's really nothing that we can do to stop a person or prevent a person from doing something. And I think when we put these rules up, then we aren't entering the relationship as we really are. So we're entering in as a different person. And by entering in with a bunch of rules and making a person jump through a bunch of hoops, you're kind of creating that energy of the relationship not working before you even get started. So I think that it's better to enter in vulnerable but aware, right? Where it's like we are willing to be open with a person, but we are also paying attention to the evidence that is happening in the relationship. I believe that we know. It's like, when someone isn't right. When someone is, being sneaky or acting weird or any of that stuff. So just pay attention, right? With the Six of Swords, I think this is good. Coming up after that Nine of Swords, Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. In a lot of ways, I feel that Aries is kind of being guided to make their life easier. I don't think life is meant to be easy, but just easier, And I feel that the Six of Swords is saying there are things that you can do that would be way less complicated in work and business and pretty much all areas of your life. I kind of feel the next few years for Aries is going to be you kind of going on this journey where, again, things aren't necessarily meant to be easy, but, you can definitely make things smoother. You can definitely make things, some things you can absolutely make easier on yourself, right? And those are the things I would be focusing on with this Six of Swords. And I kind of get like a lot of things here, Aries, where it's like some of these things could be you coming up with like processes for your day-to-day activities. Some of you, it could be you following a plan for work. I always say, I used to do my readings whenever the hell I wanted, right? And I was doing the same amount of readings for those years, for the first 4 or 5 years of this channel. I was just doing the readings whenever during the day. But once I started saying like every single morning, the first thing I do when I wake up is these readings, basically. I have a daily routine. I write. I do that first, and then I do these readings first thing in the morning. And I don't know, for some reason, it made me like 100 times more productive. Why? I don't know. I can't explain it. It's the same amount of time. But I think having a dedicated time where I did things made things easier. And, that's what I'm talking about with this Six of Swords. It's like I think there are, activities, processes, plans, certain, how you operate day to day. It's like changing those things and coming up with a better plan. It might create a better flow to your day, and it just might make your day easier every day, which is good. We have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. Eight of Wands is my card of creating a slip and slide in your life. It is literally my card that says you need to look at things that are causing friction in your life, and you either need to remove those things or change them or smooth them out in some way. I think with the Eight of Wands, the more slippery that we make life, the better with this card, and that's pretty much what I would do. I also get like some sort of message here on this card. Like I feel that you could be entering into a very social time. I think that another change that Aries is going to be making is that you could be getting a lot more opportunity from people in your life. And I don't know, this is a very weird reading. I feel like this is like a time travel reading for you, Aries, because I feel that, yeah, it's a weekly reading, but I really feel this could be talking about something, things that you're starting to do now that you will be doing for a long time into the future. And so this could be like a big theme for you coming up. You have with the Seven of Wands, you have the Moon. Yeah, this is definitely the thing that is going to be hardest for Aries, probably for the rest of this year. And again, this is not like, oh, you're going to suffer. I'm telling you this so you can avoid it, right? You have Neptune in your sign. And Neptune is going to retrograde back into Pisces, but it'll move back in January 2026 on the 26th of January as well. But right now, while Neptune is in Aries now, again, Saturn won't be moving in there for a little bit. And I think that Neptune and Aries energy could be making you question your future, could be making you question whether or not something is right or wrong for you, or, just also kind of like that knowingness, knowing what to do could be a little bit of a challenge. Your job is one foot in front of the other. Just take those small steps right now. Now, next year will actually be good, and it is I think it's a blessing that Saturn enters into Aries, or basically Neptune will be in Aries with Saturn next year, and it will be there for like 2.5 years. We'll have Saturn right there in Aries, and that'll be a blessing because I think Saturn is going to bring everyone that like discipline to move forward, and we really need that for sure. With the Six of Swords, yes, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is expanding past your limitations. He is limited at the top of this hill, but if he gets on these boats, he can go on an adventure and he can go somewhere he's never been before. And you have the Six of Swords. So I think a lot of you, again, this is probably like a few years as far as a theme for you, Aries, is concerned, that you are definitely meant to kind of expand past your limitations for the next several years, and you will. So love it. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. I think that, as I've said to you a million times before, that you probably need, or at least the universe is asking you to work together with other people. But based off your past several years, I think that Aries has been burned by other people. So it is hard to want to work with other people. And this is where trusting what you have learned really comes in. Again, I think you need to trust your gut instincts. I think you need to trust the evidence with people as well. One of my favorite sayings is trust but verify, right? So I think you can trust people that are coming in to work with, but I also think you need to verify from there. And as long as you do that, you'll be perfectly fine. I think that's a good thing. I am kind of getting a weird message here as well, Aries. Like, I think that there could be something as far as competition going on in your life, like in work or business, but I feel like it's actually really motivating you to stand out. So, I feel this like almost like a big push coming for you, maybe this summer, where it's like, let's say you have a business or a career and there's competition. It's like something is happening here, I feel, where it's like you're going to be, like, I feel like it's a fire inside of you where you're just like, I know I'm better than the competition. This is like what you're saying to yourself. And I would embrace that push, like as in I would, use that to fuel yourself so that you can really rise above the competition. Next, in the area of what messages from your future self, you have this tall tale card and this storyteller card, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's like the tall tale card is like a liar card. The storyteller card is a card of what the story that you tell yourself. Now, I think when we start telling ourselves a new story, the first thing our brain does is not believe it, right? And I was talking about brainwashing yourself with that Seven of Wands. So I do feel that you need to kind of repeat a story to yourself many times. And the story you need to tell yourself is like who you want to be in the world. And I feel just repeating that story over and over and over again will get your brain to believe it, and then you'll make it happen. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Ace of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work, so amazing time for teamwork. Again, the important thing is that you are the leader here. These people are coming in a support position. They are supporting his vision up here. So, and you end with the Emperor as well, which is you, but also you being a leader. So I think whatever you're creating or whatever you're working on, or whatever you want to create in the world, that as long as you are number one, then you will get the credit. It's funny because I say this to Gemini all the time. And I said Gemini at the top of your reading there with the lovers. And if you have Gemini in your chart, then this is probably definitely true as well. But I think for all of you, even if you don't, that, you being the leader is the thing that needs to happen here. There's also something about, again, I think there's something about this reading about you putting your work out into the world in a bigger way, or you getting more attention, which again, Pluto in Aquarius, 20, it's going to be there for like 19 more years or whatever. And, it's all about attention and getting positive attention on your work. You have the Strength card. Strength is, of course, a card of your inner strength. And a lot of people have been getting these messages as well of kind of like working on your inner strength. She has her hands in this lion's mouth, and the lion represents her inner critic or her inner demon. So, again, with that storyteller card and the tall tale card, you need to take control of the story that you are telling about yourself with the Strength card. That is like true strength. That is the whole point of the card. And this is something that she has to do every single day. So she is brainwashing herself into believing that she can, is successful even if she isn't, or that she is something that she isn't yet. And, I think that's what you're trying to become. It's like you are trying to become something that you aren't yet, and that's perfectly fine. That's the whole point of life. And I feel that, brainwashing yourself into it is what you need to do. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles can be like a big opportunity that's coming in for you. So I feel that there could be some sort of opportunity. It could be coming from other people. I would definitely encourage socializing. I would encourage like teamwork and working together with other people. I think all that would be amazing with the Ace of Pentacles. But there definitely could be like a big opportunity financially. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. It's like, excuse me. Six of Cups is kind of like innocence and nostalgia, and it can represent a little bit of a naive energy as well. So maybe that's been part of the problem, is that you just trust people that you work with instead of kind of like verifying. But I feel like you're not necessarily doing that anymore, which is good. So I like to see that. I also feel like we are in a time where we have to be more playful. So, taking a more lighthearted, playful approach to things is going to be good. With the Strength card, you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, definitely a new idea or a new direction for you. The Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. You know, one thing I will say, I think the hardest part of having Pluto go into Aquarius for everyone is that we can't, like, the old things that we've been doing during Pluto and Capricorn, we can't do anymore. So it's like, you know, things aren't going to work as well as they used to. And this is not a bad thing. We're just in a time of evolution. So we have to try new things. We have to be willing to experiment with whatever it is that we're trying to build or whatever it is that we're working on in life. And if we do that, then we'll grow. And so this is really just encouraging innovation. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Tower. There you go. This could be a surprise opportunity. I don't feel bad about this Tower at all. I feel that this could be kind of like an opportunity that comes out of nowhere, or something that is coming out of nowhere. Could be a little bit surprising. It's also probably going to require some sort of change for you. The other thing I would say is 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Tower, the World. I think you know what I'm going to say. Moving, you know, wouldn't surprise me if a bunch of you were thinking about moving over the next couple of years, really. You know, you're going to have Jupiter moving into your 4th house in June. So it really wouldn't surprise me if some of you were just getting the opportunity to move, or you are. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Release Blocks card, which is good. You have this Intuition card. Yeah, the whole reading, you know, the 9 of Swords is a blockage, and so obviously you are releasing it. The Intuition card, I feel, is kind of saying you need to trust your intuition and your more like your gut instincts, and also trust but verify. Same thing with intuition. It's like we can trust our intuition, but we also can verify it. So I would trust but verify. I think that's a good, a good thing here for you. You have the Emperor. I think you need to be ready for an opportunity that comes out of nowhere. Like, this is, I don't think it's totally unexpected. Like, let's say you've been working on your career and you've been working really hard. Maybe you get an opportunity for a raise or promotion. So it's like, you've been working hard. So it's like not totally surprising. But the Emperor says you need to be ready to grab onto it. He's sitting in his throne, but he has his armor on underneath his cloak. And the armor underneath his cloak says he needs to be ready to go at a moment's notice. He is ready to go at a moment's notice. So when an opportunity presents itself, he really grabs onto it and he doesn't wait, And so I kind of get that feeling here that if you are getting any work, business, any type of opportunity, I would be ready to go. You have the Death card. Yeah, I would be ready to go for a change as well. This might be one of those things where, this could be one of those things where it's like you should start preparing for something now. Let's say you want to move, but you can't afford it. I would just start packing and pack some things up that you haven't touched in 2 years, right? Or kind of like get the energy moving. Start looking at houses on Redfin, right? Start driving around neighborhoods that you would want to move to. Like, I feel like there's something about the preparation in this reading that's really important. Like, if you could get into the energy of preparing for something, it's going to happen. Same thing with like work or business. It's like maybe you want to grow or get a promotion. Start acting as if you already have it. Excuse me. Make that change, and I feel things will go really, really well for you. You have the 6 of Pentacles. I feel there's just progress coming in for you here. You have these 2 6s, and I love 2 6s in readings because 2 6s is kind of like confirmation for your path. It says that you're moving in the right direction, you're doing the right thing, so love it. With the Emperor, you have the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is like a celebration and happiness. I really get the feeling that some of you, if you have moved like years ago, and you're like away from family, I feel like some of you could be moving closer to family, and I feel that would be good, number one. Number two, we have all this weird socializing energy in this reading. Some of you could be finally surrounding yourself with the right people, or it's like you could be surrounding yourself more with people who lift you up. I'm also getting something about how you see yourself, which is weird. Like, I have a mirror. I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing. It's like I feel like some of you are looking in the mirror. And don't take this the wrong way, Aries, but it's like not really how you look. But I feel like some of you, it's like, it's not that you don't like the way you look in the mirror, but, it's like intuitively I get this feeling of some of you wanting to look different. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's a message popping into my head. But this isn't like physical, I feel like this is more energetic, and I don't know. I feel like maybe kind of like seeing yourself in your head as you want to be would help you attract the vision of who you want to be or something. I don't know. There you go. With the death card, you have the strength card. Yeah, it's going to require strength. All change requires strength right now because we have to believe it. Because of Neptune's been in Pisces, which is like the big impossible dream. Neptune and Aries like get started on the big impossible dream, but we probably also don't believe that we can do it. So we have to brainwash ourselves into doing it. Plain and simple. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is like cause and effect. I mean, no, it's not, but that's what's popping into my head. I feel like some of you could be kind of like mixing things together and seeing what works. And, you know, the Six of Pentacles is cause and effect because he is holding this balance right here in his hands, which is like the Justice card. And Justice is cause and effect. Justice says, you know, if you do this, do you get that? And it's about like needing to pay attention to that in the first place. You have this Parrot card that says someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. What else is new, Aries? I would say it's like, I don't know. I think people are going to be talking about Aries for a long time, so I would just get used to it. It's free attention. I wouldn't react to it or anything. You have this Rainbow. It says the most difficult part of a situation is over. Amazing. Love it. Definitely could be improvements coming in for you with that card. You have this Dog. It says protection from a powerful friend. There's definitely a lot of stuff about friends here. I think that, you know, nurturing the correct relationships, good relationships will be good. You have this Funnel. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. So I think this is what you've been through. And luckily, I think things are improving. You have this Grasshopper. It says situation in the balance that requires careful handling. Yeah, whatever you're creating. It's like, don't stay in the old life. You know, I think this reading is encouraging you to step in to your new life. But this looks really good, Aries. I like this. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.